From the very first time when the government for appear before Parliament, for the Parliament ratify the state of emergency proclamation from the president, we organization we raise a huge concern that whenever government, around the world, including Sierra Leone, announce state of emergency, it brings a chilling effect because it gives excessive power to the executive, for doing exactly within them feel for do. And when you look at the power we give the president for, past state of emergency, it's in your opinion. So that make when natural disaster struck, when government declares state of emergency, it needed regulations, guidelines as to how fully that state of emergency they could be fully implemented. Now that Parliament also if get involved. So when the executive arm through the extension of the AG office, for draft the law and then present it to Parliament, and the members of Parliament then look into that law and see how best it fits, with the welfare of the people then in social and economic activities in the different constituencies. But what do we see? The blatant disrespect and disregard to the Legislative House of Parliament, wherein Parliament gives 21 days, working time frame to the AG's office that within 21 days of that very day when they adopt, the proclamation of 12 month state of emergency, the AG's office will work on the draft regulations and bring them come. We begin to see a raindrop of regulations for inter-district lockdown, different measures from different ministry, about closures of public space, public activities, curfew order, and we run down to policy statement also from the Ministry of Health, compulsory use of face masks, all of them things in there. The question is that if people not abide to them things and what laws with the law enforcement officers use to quote, what are the punishment, what are the fines?
Well, Parliament, of course, being agree for the state of emergency go on. Of course, they agree for the state of emergency. Then later, regulation not come. Plenty people they say them balance or them work on the intelligence of the MP them. Now, the Office of the Attorney General they play smart and give different excuse them on the issue for do the state of emergency. You think say the MP them for them agree for the state of emergency without regulation?
I think there's no smart game playing here. It's a blatant disrespect, from the executive to the legislative house, when Parliament. But then, you see that Parliament wholeheartedly welcome such public humiliation. The reason why Parliament, welcome and accept that, Parliament get a power for summon any minister, any MDAs at any time. So if somebody defy, parliamentary order, Parliament gets, disciplinary measures then where they can put in place, for such. But we don't see since that time they were Parliament get it 21 days. Parliament don't recall the members and several times, for approve presidential appointees, people the president, appoint. Then other activities that don't take place since that time to today. But then committees and Parliament they still don't they meet. But then the legislative committee not summon, the AG's office for ask the reason why then disregard the 21 days working period where they begin them for work on the regulations. So if we see such lackadaisicalness, in handling governance affairs in this country from the people that we entrust power into, we as governance and human rights justice institutions, we we find it very disturbing.
Now, the main opposition APC don't see they're not going to put in any regulation for make any law again if not to the get for those regulation them for the COVID-19 as part of the state of emergency. Now, the APC don't get that threatening statements in the Parliament recent. What do you think about this comment?
I mean, those are all chips comments. We always get a comment and but nothing happen. The next thing you see after the law hangers on whatever platform, then we can't tell you about the recent excuse, the bold declaration. It's died there. Then still nothing comes out good for the people the way they represent the parliament for far too long. We don't get so many cheap talk, from the well of parliament. I mean, what our people need now is more of actions.
What do you think say will be done now for correct whatever now challenge or mistake we go don't happen along the way before this 3 month here, first 3 months the end to the state of emergency?
I mean, I think the parliament need for being parliament. Parliament need for no say them what they salt, for provide legislation and provide oversight function for government MDAs, for ensure that say people the way needs for be held accountable, for their actions, and Parliament needs to do that. Because other than that, we're not gonna have any good things. We see that this is not the first time the executive representatives don't blatantly disregard Parliament, So then we continue having the same pattern, and it's continuing to be worse until Parliament be Parliament. Then we'll start seeing much better